Okay, good morning, downtown Portland. Week 123, Justice for Qadira. Praise Jesus. Oh my gosh, we are still here. People don't even realize how hard it is to get out here for us. So every week when we come back, we are going to praise Jesus for that, because it's hard. It's hard to come downtown and free speak into a microphone and know that you're going to be, ignored by your public officials. So that's okay. We're still here.
I just wanna, I wanna show my appreciation for the march last week. Okay, we had the kids out here. They were marching for climate. They were marching for the climate crisis. That's good. Wow. That's good. But hey, I want to say something, folks. Where are you now? Okay? Because your job is not done. Okay? They are still taking the world apart. We need you out here now. Still. The money worshipers, these people work incessantly for the destruction of humanity. We need to match their energy, folks. We need to match their energy. Okay? We need to be out here incessantly until things change. We gotta keep coming. We gotta keep bringing that energy. I liked it last week. It was good. There were kids from all over the city marching. I love that. I want to see some change. My wife and I, we are not going to stop coming out here until there is some kind of meaningful change on the planet. That's what we need. That's what humanity needs right now. Okay? We don't need money. We need for people to be caring for each other. How do we get that done? Okay? Because money's not getting that done. It's not helping us care for each other. As a matter of fact, it's making us more selfish, more greedy, and more upset with each other. And that's not good, folks. That is not good. My wife is gonna read an article right now. My wife is gonna read an article that talks about what is going on right now in Portland public schools, and it's not good, folks. It's not good.
Okay, cool.
Hey.
Okay. Sorry, I just had to get a little update from a friend of ours. Before I read the article, I do want to acknowledge that me and my husband were just sold down the river by our own community, the black community. They're going to accept $400 million from Phil Knight. I want people to realize Phil is coming in and buying up the city. So Nike helped destroy the city, and now they're going to come in and they're going to buy up every corner. So the Albina district is just going to be owned. There won't be independent businesses there anymore. And that's exactly, it's pretty much already happened on the south side, because that's where all the Nike employees are. So I just want people to realize what's going on. It's not good. And I really honestly believe that Nike needs to be investigated for all their contributions to BLM and the destruction that happened to this city in all the corners, because now they're going to come in and invest all this money in what? People are fleeing as we speak. And if you go get on your knees, to that almighty dollar, you will be owned. You won't be doing anything independently whatsoever. This city won't operate independently. I mean, the state basically doesn't already, which is why me and my husband got, thrown under the bus. I just want to say, too, that, all this money isn't helping. It's not helping our kids feel motivated for the future. It's not helping to create an environment where people feel safe, loved, cared for, or that they even want to really move forward. And so I want to read this article, because I didn't realize that our schools, I knew they were bad. I put 4 kids through Portland Public Schools, and I was not impressed. But we're in a situation now where the kids are literally attacking one another in the hallways and classrooms, and money's not going to solve this. So I want to read this article because I think it's important, because it's a cry for help, essentially. And we need to be listening. Hey, we need to be listening. Do you want to just give her a minute? We need to be listening to what these adults are saying, and reflecting on what we're hearing here. So here's the article. We need help. Portland Middle School principals plead for help to manage student behavioral problems. And I want to note that I'm reading this article at a time where kids are being given more and more authority to make choices, and I don't know if that's such a good thing. You know, we're not giving people any time to grow up in society anymore. It's just a headlong race to nowhere. You know, literally, everybody's kind of chasing this money into a brick wall, and we need to start paying attention to that. So this is a really, really important article, and I'm just going to wait for the train to skedaddle on past because it's about to go. But I want to start reflecting on this because we've been talking about how kids can't consent, and like this is something we need to roll out globally, because the kids are not getting enough supervision, they're not getting enough help or support, and there's just too many adults saying kids can do whatever they want, and we are literally headed to a serious crisis, because we already see that everything's devolving down. You know, people are laying in the road, people are ill, mentally ill and sick, and having all these problems, not getting the help they need, while this is going on with our kids too. So middle schools in Portland are facing a student behavior crisis and need more dedicated staff to help navigate the issues, according to a letter sent this month to Portland Public Schools district leadership that was co-signed by all 15 middle school principals. So again, this is a crisis in every school, the poor schools and the rich schools. 6th through 8th graders had more disciplinary incidents through the end of March than for the entire 2021-2022 school year, wrote Robert Gray Middle School Principal Lisa Newland, who penned the letter. Disruptive conduct, harassment toward fellow students because of race, disability, and religion, and physical altercations are on the rise among middle schoolers, she said, and school leaders are spending much of their time focused on responding to such behaviors. They are petitioning for the district to hire at least 15 new full-time employees who would focus on student safety, mental health, and alternative approaches to discipline that emphasize mediation instead of a more punitive system of detentions and suspensions. The district's 12 K through 8 schools were not included in the original ask, but would benefit from similar supports, Newland said. We need help, she said in an interview with the Oregonian Oregon Live on Wednesday. The things that I worry about as a building administrator are issues of mental health and anxiety that are exacerbated by interactions with kids at schools. Microaggressions towards students is something that we are problem solving all the time, along with threats of violence and actual fighting. There is no shortage of examples. Families at Da Vinci Arts Middle School in Southeast Portland were notified this week of a social media threat made against a group of female students that prompted an investigation by the Portland Police Bureau and the Department of Homeland Security. Parents at the school said some students threatened to bring guns into the school if a group of girls wouldn't give them nude photographs. The students who made the threat were suspended, according to a letter to the school community from Assistant Principal Margarita Wilson and Area Senior Director Lorna Fast Buffalo Horse. A 7th grader at Beaumont Middle School in Northeast Portland described feeling terrified after a classmate held a box cutter to her neck and threatened to slit her throat during school hours several weeks ago. Her classmate was suspended for a few weeks but is now back at school without supervision. She told members of the Portland School Board on Tuesday, adding that she's experiencing regular panic attacks as a result. My school is not safe. Not safe while I know people in positions that can help are not helping me and probably not helping others, she said. Police were called to West Sylvan Middle School in southwest Portland after a fight broke out between students in early March. That follows an incident at the same school in January in which a black student was attacked by two of his fellow classmates who pushed a knee onto his back, mimicking the police murder of George Floyd. Students at Ockley Green Middle School in North Portland walked out of school recently to protest two black teachers being placed on leave. The situation is dire. 8th grader Otto Shamba told board members Tuesday night. Many classes are falling apart at Ockley, Shamba said. Only a third of my classes are taught by subs instead of full-time teachers, and many of the classes watch movies all day or do nothing that looks like learning. There is little or no structure at Ockley, and students aren't held accountable for their learning or behavior. Discipline issues in middle schools are not new, but have been exacerbated by the lengthy school building closures during the pandemic, Newland said, which came right as the current generation of middle schoolers should have been gaining independence and social skills in their latter elementary years. Instead, they were confined to home and to screens, interacting via social media sites like TikTok and Snapchat, which Newland said have fueled some of the current spat of harmful behaviors. Last year around this time, it was middle school teachers who spoke up, making an impassioned pitch to the district to add more supports to their schools. In response, the district added 12 restorative justice coordinators to middle schools, focusing on those that serve the largest concentration of high-need students. The principals say that hasn't proved to be enough. Superintendent Guadalupe Guerrero's proposed $832 million budget for the 23-24 school year, which was presented to the school board Tuesday, includes money for new instructional coach positions at every elementary, middle, and K through 8 in the district, intended to help teachers with professional development and curriculum rollouts. Thank you. Middle schools don't want to lose that position to free up money for student behavior supports, the principals wrote in their letter. Having to choose between additional instructional support, larger class sizes, and school climate support is untenable and unsustainable, they wrote. School board members said they were sympathetic to the issues raised. Parents and students and staff all over the city know that these kids need more support, said school board member Julia Brim Edwards, who said she'd propose amending the budget to support the principal's request. It's not immediately clear where the funding would come from, though potential sources could include state dollars should the final general fund allotment for schools top the current $9.9 billion proposed by the co-chairs of the Joint Ways and Means Committee. The district could also choose to tap into its reserve funds or shift money from other programs. Okay, first of all, I don't care how much money they throw at this problem. We need more involved parents. And one thing I want to say, I mean, you can throw money and throw money and throw money. That's all we've been doing.
We've seen that with the homeless problem.
It's just...
We've seen that with the drug problem.
You can't pay somebody to care more than you're going to care. So we need people to start making an individual choice to care. One of the things me and my husband have experienced over the last 2.5 years of being out here is this complete rejection of us even being out here fighting for our daughter. We're not supposed to be out here fighting for our daughter. We're just supposed to go away and not talk about this. We're supposed to pretend nothing happened. Well, this is what the kids are seeing modeled. They see the adults don't care about serious problems. They see the adults either ignoring problems or fighting on TV. You know, there's so much fighting going on TV and just in our streets. This is behavior that they're just picking up from every direction that they look. What they're taught is, you know, go and get into a physical altercation if you want to solve a problem.
And folks, we're doing that right now. We're on the verge of World War III. Why don't we have diplomats who can talk out problems?
Exactly. I mean, what do the kids see? They see adults using guns and violence to solve problems all the time. And then we turn around and we have a different expectation for them. And that just doesn't work. And we truly are on the verge of World War III. One thing I can say is I've been watching all this unfolding with China and Taiwan and Ukraine. And who can take the climate change conversation seriously when there's all these people making all these weapons? I just saw Iran is supplying Russia with all these suicide drones and yada, yada, yada. It is absolutely outrageous that any leader would be saying the planet's dying when they're involved in all that.
Like
they
they're
seem to have
actively...
plenty of money. They're blowing up the planet
we have a climate emergency or not.
Right.
Okay, folks, if we are, if all we're going to do is, I just want to say this, our climate crisis that they're pitching to us, it's not about the care of the planet. It has never been about the care of the planet. This is about controlling people and getting rid of people.
Yeah,
they want us, okay, to think that it is okay to get rid of us. They want you to get rid of yourself because they want you to think that you are the problem. You are not the problem. You are the solution.
And you need to realize what's happening here in Portland is, look at this deal that the black leaders are taking, okay? They're taking this deal. They're selling me and my husband down the river. They know this protest is going on. They don't call us. They don't contact us. Let's just look historically what's been going on this planet. Someone's always willing to sell somebody down the river. Now, whose fault is that really? You know what I'm saying? Because what do we have right now? It's not unlike the slave trade, right? Black people sold black people. They weren't concerned about what the white people were going to do with them. And right now, you know, that's what's happening. Black Portland is selling us down the river, and they're not concerned about what that means for the actual community. That's going to be completely erased over there. Completely erased, because Phil will own it all. And there's a great danger in that, you know, because that is communism. You know what I'm saying? If he's going to own the whole city, nothing here will operate independently of Nike. It practically doesn't now. I want to be really clear. That's how we ended up in this pickle. You know, my husband was working for Nike when our daughter was abused, and boy, oh boy, they weren't happy with him. So then they jumped in the middle of this, and it's been nothing but 16 years of chaos because the corporations do what they want.
And our media is completely owned by these people. We cannot get a story anywhere because these people can black us out. They can suppress anything that doesn't fit their narrative.
The thing is if we keep just saying, okay, the corporations can do whatever they want, where is that going to leave us all now in 10 years? Because now they own everything. You need to get it.
Please, sir. Please, sir. Please, sir. Don't touch that stuff.
See, and we have somebody here.
What is that news?
We have somebody here who needs some help, and he can't get any help because that's the kind of city we live in. So, you know, that's what we try to work around when we're down here. It's very sad. Really, there should be somebody to call. There never is. And I can see what's going to happen. Phil's going to buy up a bunch of the properties, and then he's just going to, you know, get rid of all the people. We've seen this tactic before, and we'll see it again because a lot of people are actually crying out for this to happen. They don't really want to help people. I mean, why would you invest $400 million into more buildings and stuff for rich people when you have all these other people that actually need some help, you know, throughout the city? Well, it's because you're not planning on helping the poor people at all. But where does it end? Like, for people who want to get rid of people, does that ever end? Do you just finally get rid of yourself? Who do you want to keep around? You know, it kind of, we're in this cycle now, and then we're also in this cycle of blame. Well, this group enslaved this group, and this group enslaved it, and so on and so forth, when we need to kind of just make a clean slate, and everybody needs to recognize that none of this is really working. And it's really not going to work if they start letting off nuclear bombs, which we're all the way down that road because that's what the media wants. That's what the rich people want. What was going around Twitter last night was all this business. Steven Crowder, he got caught on camera. He was abusing his wife, verbally abusing her.
She was pregnant, 8 months pregnant.
She's 8 months pregnant, and a lot of people are saying, why does this matter? Well, I think it matters because I think money and fame make people ungrateful, selfish, and cruel. So that is basically the top brass globally. They're all ungrateful, selfish, and cruel. Show me one of them that isn't. I don't think you can find one. Phil Knight made all of his money slaving children. Some of these children were murdered in these factories, and America needs to start caring about that. Portland specifically needs to start caring about that because we should care about how global corporations treat people here in America. We shouldn't just be like bowing down to a slave owner, essentially. So that is what Phil Knight is. And you know, when my husband was working at Nike, we turned a blind eye to that as well. We said to ourselves, oh, you know, it's okay because everybody says it's okay. You know, but then it happened to him and it wasn't okay. So you have to put yourself in somebody else's shoes.
Folks, my wife is right. Every single time I've been to China, I've seen the factories, I've seen the conditions over there. It's not good. It's not anything that we would accept here in America, but we let it go on all over the planet. We let it go on all over the planet.
And
why? Because it's making money. We have a $150 billion a year human trafficking industry. Okay? We're saying that's okay because it's making money. Folks, that is not okay.
And
it's not okay to be selling people.
We've lost sight of even the point of people going to work. This is why our kids are just completely going nuts because, you know, sure, you're supposed to get a job, go to work, take care of your family, take care of yourself. People aren't doing that anymore, okay? The money's being used for all kinds of crazy stuff at this point. And it has very little to do with people actually caring for themselves and caring for their families. In fact, families are completely being ripped apart in this model. Do you want to?
Folks, that's why we are encouraging people. We need to start a discussion, folks. Okay? What is global human civilization about? Why aren't we questioning the foundation of our society? Why is it based on something that is not people? Because that's what it is. Our society, our civilization is not based on the care and development of people, but it should be. Because that is what our civilization is made out of. Our civilization is made out of people.
Exactly.
It's made out of people. And if we don't start caring for people, we're never going to go anywhere on this planet.
We need to start making some changes, and one of the big changes we need to make is we need to start reflecting. And I'm okay standing up here reflecting on, you know, when we talk about my husband's experiences at Nike, people are so quick in the corporate world to just disregard other people, and that bleeds into everything because corporations are supporting so much in America now.
All over the planet.
All over the planet, but what are we really doing?
It's controlling the economy, the global economy.
We're on our knees to these very brutal dictators. I mean, these people like Phil Knight. I'm sorry. He's involved in this. He knows he's involved in this, and that's why he's not going to come down there. He's not going to say anything. And in fact, he doesn't have to say anything because so many people don't care that he's a brutal dictator. You know what I'm saying? So him paying for this kind of cover-up, well, people think, one life for many, but is it one life for many? Or is it many lives for many? Because we know that Nike has slaves in China right now. Yet, my own community, who's been ignoring me for 16 years, and I'm sorry, I'm calling out the black community hard here right now because y'all have no empathy for your ancestors. You want to complain about the white people when the black people are sitting here openly making this deal. They're inking a deal with the devil. Those are the black leaders, the wealthy blacks, you know? And so this isn't just a white problem, okay? This isn't everybody problem, this slavery nonsense that we've been having going on since the dawn of time. You know, somebody always wants to take advantage of somebody else, and we need to stop doing that. The fact that there are people on this planet today that work day and night that cannot afford to live is shameful. It's beyond shameful. We must atone for that, especially here in America, because even poor Americans benefit from that. We've all benefited from cheap labor, okay? And it's time we all stood up and said, that's not okay. It's not okay for you to have $50 $4 billion in the bank while your employees suffer. You know, we tell our small business owners that, even if they have to go out of business. A small business here in America can't get away with what a corporation gets away with. And it has to stop.
All over the planet, these corporations are getting away with whatever they want, and it's these money worshipers. Okay? Somehow we organized our economy around the worship of money.
So the money worshipers, let's be clear, most of us use money. That's like 99% of people. You're out there, you're using money. You probably don't worship it. But if your bank account is looking obscene, you're a money worshiper. Money worshipers don't know how to get rid of money. They collect it and carry it when they can't use it, and they don't want to help anybody else have access to it because they worship it. So that is who we are all at the mercy of, and right now, they've got plans. And they are implementing their plans because they pay people to implement the plan.
Right. And the plans don't have anything good to do with people. Okay? It's not about caring for people. It's not about fixing the planet. Like I said, it's about getting rid of people because these people are greedy. Okay? They don't want anybody else here. They want it all to themselves.
They need extreme amounts of space. So now the new strategy is, and we're seeing it unfold, all these cities got destroyed with corporate dollars via BLM. These were corporate dollars that destroyed American cities. Now we can see what's happening. Phil's going to come through, and he's just going to buy up the north side. Trust me, the south side is all the way under his control because that's where all the Nike people live. Me and my husband live in a nest. You know, we live in a hornet's nest. So telling
in the belly of the beast, people.
Telling this story is, you know, we get out in Southwest Portland and talk about this. That's a whole different world. But, you know, that's what this country is falling to. And you know, that is communism in a nutshell. You're not going to have any independent free businesses. You're not going to be working for yourself because once you start taking Phil's money, that's forever. You better get on your knees and you better stay planted there because that is what he will expect. Like me and my husband, we won't get on our knees. We won't get on our knees in front of Phil. He doesn't understand it. Okay? And the people that protect him, they don't understand it. But I'm sorry. No, you're not a good person. Okay? You're not somebody that I'm going to exalt or think is a good person simply because you get out some couch change every now and again to manipulate the public. It's not okay. Americans need to understand outsourcing was Phil Knight's idea. And that was the devil's idea, really, because that is what has led to the downfall of this country.
Not just the downfall of this country, folks. It's led to the downfall of this world. Folks,
exactly.
We're talking about exporting slavery.
All
That's
over
what
the
they
globe.
did. That's all they did.
And we didn't need to do that. They could have paid fairer wages because you barely, you know, we were taking jobs in America that were paying $30-40 an hour. We turned them into $1 an hour jobs. Why did we do that? Why? Because this is, when you look it up, this was Phil's brainchild at Stanford. Oh, this was such a smart thing. He was going to go get some slaves in another country. This wasn't a new thought. You know, so he went to these governments, and these governments, sure, they sell their own people. Just like what happened here yesterday with us. And I do feel like we got sold down the river because, you know, our own community doesn't even come talk to us. It's just like, oh, well, we don't care. Okay, you don't care?
Folks.
Well, don't expect things to improve because your kids see that. So the kids in our schools right now, they're not learning anything. They're beating each other up. They're yelling. They're picking up guns. Well, what is that going to look like 10 years from now?
Folks, we are not giving our children anything productive to do. And the only thing productive to do on this planet is take care of life. But we are not doing that. That is not what global human civilization is focused on doing. But, folks, we are sovereign, free will beings. We have built-in authority. We can make a change. Everything is a choice.
We can choose.
We can align our wills. We can say absolutely no more. We are not doing this. We're not playing Monopoly with our lives. We are going to start caring for the life on this planet.
And we could take responsibility, for what we're involved in. I want to take responsibility for it. I mean, as an American, I would like to see the factory wages be at least the federal American minimum wage. Why? Why do I say this? I say it because America was supposed to export freedom, and we still can. It would be very difficult. You can't go back in time and repay everybody and find everybody who hurt, but you can move forward in a better way. Like, our authorities could come to us and we could talk about this and we could move forward instead of staying stuck where we are. Because the fact of the matter is there are many people on this planet who can care for themselves. They're working to do so, but they're being taken advantage of.
And it's not good, folks. It's not good. So we're out here. We're going to continue to be out here. What we would like to see happen is people getting involved. We would like to see, and you don't even necessarily need to get involved with us, but we want you out here. You need to be out here, because just like you think we're too loud, you are too quiet.
That's right.
You are too quiet.
The world is burning.
The world is burning. The time to speak up is now. Get out on the street. I want to see you. I want to see how disgusted you are with the way our world is going.
But we want you to be peaceful, which is one of the reasons me and my husband do the t-shirt exercise. And these t-shirts, you can make one, but people need to see that you recognize that you are what is valuable, because that's really the missing piece here. Is we don't see one another as what is valuable. When you see $1, you know it's valuable. When you see a person, not so much. So we need to start changing our way of thinking if we're actually going to have any chance of actually cleaning up the world.
Now, folks, we've been playing the money game for thousands of years now. It's something that we have to back out of slowly. We are not suggesting that you stop using money.
Absolutely
today.
not.
Okay? No, we're not saying that.
What we're saying is you need to start seeing other people as what matters.
And we need to start questioning what we are doing with the money. Okay? We need to do that. We need to do that not just for ourselves, but for everybody on the planet and the future generations. And what are we doing here as a race of beings?
What is our collective goal? Do we have a collective goal? Because that's one of the pieces, I think, our middle school kids, our high school kids, they don't know why they're here. And they're here to help take care of all the life. No one ever tells them that.
That is not what we are imparting to our children.
Nobody ever tells them that. They have no understanding of why they are actually on the planet today.
But I don't blame them, because the majority of adults don't understand that, because you weren't taught that as a kid. As a kid, you were taught you need to go out and make that money, or you're going to die.
You could basically just be erased, kicked in a ditch. But another thing that I think that's unfolding here in Portland, that's really important to focus on, is a lot of kids are seeing this protest. They see all the chaos in downtown. My son's going to school down here right now. He sent me a picture the other day. Somebody had diarrhea all over the sidewalk. He's shocked at how many people are, how much drugs, the open use of drugs everywhere. People are really suffering. Now, this is what the elites want, because the more people who choose to take themselves out of the picture, that's just more room for them, and they need lots and lots of space. I also want to say, me and my husband, we stand down here as good community members. We're homeowners in Southwest Portland. We've been in the community for a good long time. I've lived in Portland my whole life. Guess what? Guess what being a good person got me so far? Ignored by my authorities. Ignored. Not picking up a gun for 16 years. Ignored. Not strapping on a bomb. Ignored. You know what I'm saying? Why do we do this? This is what nonviolent conflict resolution looks like. Sometimes the person you've traumatized, you have to listen to them talk. You have to acknowledge what you did. And our leaders don't know how to do that, so diplomacy's off the table globally, which is why we are headed to war. They don't know how to have a so forth, which without that ability, how can we fix anything?
And they're not going to have that ability because taking care of the life is not a commonly understood goal here on the planet. But why not? Why? Why isn't people what our society or our civilization about? It should be. We could literally be the economic driver of our civilization. Why aren't we having that discussion?
And it's interesting because me and my husband, we are continually, thrown away. Even though my husband is a great role model, great father, we've stuck by our kids. We've had some really difficult times. My husband lost his entire career. He was blacklisted. That was 15 years of working his way up in the shoe industry, all taken away. And he's not Colin Kaepernick, okay? He didn't have a silver spoon in his mouth. But guess what? Did he leave his kids, leave his wife, take off, go be violent? No. We have stuck to our guns. We're still telling the story. We're still moving forward. But, our community doesn't want a role model. They want some money. That's all anybody wants. They want money, money, money. They don't care if somebody can overcome a difficult circumstance without being violent. Where's the reward, Mayor Wheeler? Hello? You know what I'm saying? No reward for that. Why would Nike want to reward a black man for not turning to violence? Why? Because they want you to turn to violence.
They don't want you to look like you are valuable. So that's why they flood the streets with fentanyl. That's why they're not really helping the homeless. Because they want you to think of other people as garbage.
Because they think of other people as garbage. Like when our daughter was injured, she was immediately garbage. Our whole family was garbage. It didn't matter that we had pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps and done everything. Both me and my husband, we weren't born with silver spoons in our mouths. We work really hard. But guess what? There's been, the reward has been the life that we've gotten. So we're able to get out here with a good attitude because, we've worked for something meaningful, which is our family. A lot of people don't see that as success. They don't see our marriage as success. They don't see the fact that we've stayed together as success. They don't see the fact that our kids are doing okay as success because that's not the measure of success. But then the adults want to act like the kids should care. Why should they care? Why should the kids care? Why shouldn't the kids be violent? That's what you're teaching. And you don't care that you're teaching that. So that's a problem.
Yeah, folks, we can't just be responding to violence. That's all we ever respond to. That's all the media wants you to pay attention to is violence. That's all they care about. They care about the narrative that the wealthy people are telling them they want pushed on us.
And
folks,
they want us to be squabbling over this money because they have all of it so they can dangle it and then we all fight and look stupid, and that's really what's going on here. I mean, I really wish the black community would just tell Phil no. No, thank you, Satan. I don't want your money. I don't need your money. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to start trying to help kids see one another as what matters because that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to start helping the kids see one another as what matters, and I'd like adults to pick up this exercise too. Me and my husband have been doing this for 10 years. We're not trying to sell you anything.
We're not trying to win you over, folks.
This just works. I'm just telling you. In terms of what we've been through, there have been really difficult times in our marriage and in our household. I mean, having our daughter abused, all the backlash we've gotten, and how much. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Anyway,
we appreciate your criticism.
the fact of the matter is this has helped us stay together, helped us keep our family together. So that's why we're out here doing it. And next week it is my husband's birthday. It's going to be May 5th, and I know they're having the coronation over there in Britain. And King Charles is supposed to get on his white T-shirt behind the curtain for 5 minutes to show that he cares about God. Well, we're going to do something different down here on May 5th because fair is fair. Portland won the white T-shirt contest. We've been doing this for 10 years. Charles doesn't get to do it for 5 minutes and act like it means something to him. That's all I can say.
So we're going to keep getting down here, folks. Like I said, we're not trying to convince you of anything.
Nope.
We're not trying to win you over.
Nope.
We're just out here trying to give you information so you can, that might help you make a good decision.
Probably are. You probably are.
This guy just drove by, he said he's homeless, and he's a tax-paying citizen. What kind of sense does that make?
Well, you know, we're not making any sense anymore. We don't even expect anything from our government. And what I think is really interesting is all these different groups in Portland, like pretending like they care about the mess that's here.
Hallelujah, praise God.
Oh, yeah.
Praise God.
Okay, praise God.
Thank you, ma'am.
Amen. But none of them will talk to us. So it's all like every little group, they get to sell us down the river and pretend nothing happened to you. You know, when we're just down here giving you the information that the news won't give you. You know what I'm saying? Because our news media, they're not giving us any good information anymore. They are just basically running the script for the elites, and we'll all be fighting and yelling and screaming, you know, until they start throwing the nukes around. They'll run down to their bunkers. Where are we all supposed to be? We need to start thinking very critically right now, because the people that are being worshipped, all these rich people, they don't like all these people here.
They don't like you, folks.
I'll tell you what, I bet you don't even like all these people here. Now that is exactly what I'm talking about. The collective consciousness right now, everybody, if you talk to people, everybody wants to get rid of people.
Everybody thinks that there's too many people on the planet.
Right.
But folks, who's too many? Are you too many? I can guarantee you that you are not too many people.
I mean,
okay?
If you think people are a problem, you know, that just bleeds into everything. We're all here. We've all been invited here. And the fact of the matter is we're not learning this lesson. You know, something I was thinking about just the other day, because I always hear people complaining about God, and I absolutely refuse to budge on this. God never sent me to hell, but I'll tell you, people have, with their bad, shitty behavior. People send people to hell. Okay? And if we don't get this planet cleaned up, that's where we're all going to end up, because that's what's going to be here.
And
so
that is
upon
happening.
return, you can expect to find yourself in hell, because look around the world. It's only going to get worse.
God doesn't create hell, folks.
And that's
God
if you
gave
can
people,
get in.
God gave people free will. And it is your choice to create hell. And that is what we are doing here. So just like we can create hell, we can create heaven. We can create heaven. Guess how we do that? By start caring for people.
People say in heaven, everybody cares about people. Why can't we do that here?
We can do that here, folks.
You know, why do we have to worship these greedy people? Why is it so cool that somebody has $100 billion? I don't think that's cool. I don't want to take that person's money. What I'd like for them to do of their own free will is start taking care of the people that they're employing, that are helping them. Why? It doesn't have to be, I shouldn't have to make a rule. Nobody should have to make a rule to tell somebody to not keep excessive amounts of cash while the people that they have employed suffer. You shouldn't have to be told that. Nobody should have to tell you that. God shouldn't have to tell you that.
And God doesn't want you.
That should be part of being an adult in society. You should learn that we are all here sharing. This is a potluck. This is a group home. Take what you need, but don't take so much that others can have nothing. That's it. That's the rule.
Just like Gandhi said, live simply so others can simply live.
Doesn't mean you have to live in a dirt hole. I think the people on this planet that are the most balanced are the middle class. Because when you're too poor, you know, then you don't have enough. And when you're too rich, you have too much. This whole exercise is about balance. And we can get there if we stop, you know, thinking that these people who have so much money are so great. I don't even know where it comes from.
Yeah, we need to stop bowing down to money. We need to stop and reflect on what we are doing here as a race of beings, because we are. Folks, our team, it's an entire team. We are collective consciousness. Yes, we are individuals, but we are making decisions together, and that is what is creating what our reality.
And why do the kids want to kill each other? Because because the adults want to kill each other. So we all need to stop wanting to kill each other. You know, Cain killed Abel and it's just never ending. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop this, and we have to just find a way to put a stop to it. I mean, I was just shocked to find out that on this planet globally, we're doing 73 million abortions per year. That's the global abortion rate. That is really sad. That means if reincarnation is real, you may not even get back in. You know what I'm saying? This experience might be off limits to you, you know, and in future generations, especially if we're just going to sit here and decide that there's only going to be a limited amount of people here because some people have to have so much. I don't know why these people need so much. I mean, these people in these big, huge houses, one person surrounded by, you know, all this square footage, it makes no sense.
And folks, all you have to do is listen to the people who are running the World Economic Forum, okay? They got a plan for you, and they're rolling it out right now. They want you to be distracted by everything that's going on. That's what they put on the media. All these distractions. They don't want you to be interested in what they're doing, but they're planning not only to get rid of a large swath of the population, the people that are left, they want to plug you in. They want to plug you in. They don't want you to have free will.
They want you basically in your home, in your
home realm, okay, where you don't really get to make any decisions anymore. And that's garbage.
Where you don't feel the sun on your face. I mean, their prophet, Noah Yuval Harari, he says free will is over. Look him up. Some people are that literally arrogant right now. Free will is over. We'll be deciding whether you even leave your house. I hear down in downtown Portland, there's going to be a 16-block radius where you can't even deliver a product in a gas-powered vehicle. While there's people dying in the street, those are their priorities, FYI. We're not going to feed everybody, house everybody, help everybody, make this city a beautiful place to be. No, we're going to worry about little petty stuff when most of these businesses can barely even get by anymore. And they don't need to. You know why? Because Master Phil is going to come down here and buy everything up. He'll give you a loan.
That's right.
But you'll be on your knees for the rest of your life.
What we are doing is we are engaging in this stupid Monopoly game. Why are we playing it? We can put it away. Whoever feels good about playing Monopoly or even winning it. Folks, whenever I play Monopoly and win, I just feel bad because what you have to do to win Monopoly is you have to kick everybody else off the board. Why? Why can't we take care of everybody? We should be able to do that. We should be able to do that. That should be our goal, is to care for all of the life here, starting with humanity. But this is what's going on. This is what we are allowing to happen. Okay? You think we're too loud? We're not loud enough. You are too quiet. You are too quiet.
That's right. You guys, we have to start speaking up, but we have to keep it peaceful. The one thing they really have is the minute people, the minute you start behaving violently, then they start sweeping everybody up, and we cannot afford that. We saw what happened with all these BLM riots. We can never have that happen in the U.S. again. It's practically destroyed the country. So we do need to start working together. And I want Black and White to really hear this right now and watch what's going on here in Portland because, you know, we need to come together. We need to stop blaming each other. We need to start realizing that the elites are playing both sides. And they're playing it well because they're winning right now.
They are winning, folks. If you would look up and check the score on the scoreboard, they have all the points, okay? Humanity is losing right now. Team Life is losing right now, okay? We need to get our mind, we need to get our head in the game.
We need to get our head in the game, y'all. It's going to be bad after King Charles is crowned, okay? Because he's all in bed with the World Economic Forum, and they are going to accelerate everything. So all these plans, we're going to see them go into high gear. The wars are going to go into high
to help you folks. They're here to spread the agenda of the elite. They're here to make sure that you are confused about what it is that you are supposed to be doing here on this planet. Folks, taking care of life is all we should be doing on this planet.
And you can go ahead. Did you need some? You can go ahead and you can impart this message to your children, because really, honestly, telling somebody that, you know, when your kid says, "Why am I here?" the best thing you can tell them is you are here to help take care of all the life. And that's your mother, that's your father, that's your brothers, that's your sisters, that's everybody around you. Every single person is a lifeline. People aren't here alone for a reason. You know, we're social beings. We're supposed to be connecting. We're supposed to be caring for one another. This is not a finite planet. This is a consciousness. And we are all very much blessed to be in this consciousness together. And we continue to be blessed as more life is still sent to this planet, even though we've made a mess of things. You know, so God is still a very forgiving God, because I will tell you, you know, even human beings don't want other human beings coming here anymore. But here we are still able to, people are still able to actually get pregnant, and we can actually still have children, which, you know, with the way things look right now, I don't know if it's going to go on much longer. I mean, there's people who are actually trying to stop this altogether. They don't want any more people. That is a fallacy. It's not something we should be doing. Oh, okay. Anyway, I was just trying to hear what he has to say. I think this woman over here is saying that she was abused, so why are we out here complaining? Look, you know, we can all think of times in our lives where we've been treated like we don't matter, and you can stand up for what matters, or you can sit down and be quiet. You know, when people are treated like they don't matter, if you're all going to be quiet, well, don't expect anybody to ever treat you like you matter. Me and my husband, we're not going to be quiet about this. We had rights, first of all. That's why America was actually, you know, that's why we founded America, so people could have rights. And now most Americans, you know, they've just handed that all away to the politicians and the money worshipers.
How come they're...
No, it's fine. What was that all about?
Folks, we are not here complaining necessarily about the government, okay? We understand that the government is, you know, it's supposed to be organized. It's supposed to be organized to take care of people, but that's not what it's being used for right now, okay? It's being used to protect money, and that's all that happened to us here. Okay, our daughter was abused by the brother of a politician. It's been covered up by all levels of the government here.
Why should we accept
the
that?
Hospitals lied to us about her care. They tried to kill her just to cover this thing up. And they refuse to be held accountable. They refuse to be responsible. Is that what you are protecting, ma'am?
Yeah, why do you want to protect that? Why do so many people want to protect that? And then this same person, the same kind of person, this lady that just walked by, we should just forget about it because everybody, you know, has some little thing go on. Well, these are the same people that are wondering why the kids are beating each other up and picking up guns and why everything's falling apart. Well, if nobody cares, then nobody cares, you know? And I've got a nice little board book that I'm going to be reading next week because we're going to be having a good time, like I said. We're going to be having our own crowning on May 5th down here. We're going to do it before Britain, okay? Just for fun, because we won the white t-shirt exercise. That's all I have to say. America's failing at everything else, but me and my husband, we got that one covered for you. You know what I'm saying? We got that one covered. 10 years in these shirts. So I'm not gonna let King Charles run off with the white t-shirt and say that that was his idea.
It's interesting because the lady that just passed by, okay, she was concerned about, she wanted to know who we were talking about, who she was asking if we were against the government. And I said no. Then she was asking, okay, well, who are we against? We said the elite. That's what I told her. We're really
the money worshippers.
The people that have the most money on the planet.
It's the money worshippers.
She wanted me to define for her what too much money is. I said billionaires, okay, because she's a millionaire. And she didn't want to be lumped into that group. Okay, that's fine.
Wait, it depends. It depends. Now, I don't know. Is she slaving people? Is she treating her employees like they matter? I don't know. I'd have to check in with her about that. Because if she's got millions of dollars and she's got so much money that she's going to treat somebody like they don't matter, then yeah, she's a problem. And she should fix that. Because she's going to have to come back and fix it anyway.
Now,
fix it here or fix it when you come back and you're born into a dirt hole and then you're complaining you're in hell.
I can tell you one thing. One attitude that I did get from her loud and clear is she thinks that the poor people are the problem. She thinks that the poor people are on her tit, stuck at her tit. Okay? Folks, that is not the problem.
She's a millionaire, though, but she feels like her tit's going empty because the poor people are in the way.
Yeah, because there's too many poor people sucking on her tit.
Wow.
Okay? Folks, that is not... Folks, we need to get past this idea. People matter. We need to start caring for people.
You need to you need to take some responsibility for yourself. See, I'm not here to tell you, me and my husband aren't here to tell you how much is too much. But if you are irresponsible, if you've created all these businesses and then from your businesses, there's all these poor people who can't take care of themselves, you're a problem. Okay? Because you can treat people better. Hey, Dave. You can treat people better, and you're just choosing not to. So that's the problem. But I don't want to tell you. Nobody should have to tell you how much. You should be able to self-manage. That's a big problem on this planet is people are growing up, and they don't know how to self-manage. So when I say kids cannot consent, I'm saying there is an age where you should be able to consent and self-manage.
Also, folks,
and be in a group home and understand this is a potluck and that we're all sharing and not be greedy.
If we're talking about a free market system, if we're talking about true capitalism, there aren't any billionaires. There are not any billionaires in a free market system. You know why? Because money is constantly moving. Okay? You shouldn't be getting a concentration of money anywhere.
And it doesn't help you. Let's look at Steven Crowder. He's worth $20 million. He's verbally abusing his wife, yet he has plenty of money to access therapy or fly himself across the world or go check into a hotel room. You don't have to be screaming and yelling at your wife. Why isn't access to all that money helping these wealthy people behave better? Because it doesn't help you behave better to have tons and tons of cash.
No,
it's way better to be balanced.
Folks, you just wind up exalting yourself, okay? So it's not good. It's not good, and it's not a practice that we should continue here as a race of beings. Okay, we need to care about people. We need to care about people. That's it.
It should be part of the conversation. It should be part of the conversation.
Caring about people. We need to be caring about their development. Okay? That's the only way to change things that's going on here.
Or we could just continue to follow in line with all the killing of people, which, basically, that's what the Bible says we're going to do, right? Everybody's just going to stand around until, a third of people are gone or whatever. And I can see it happening. I can see it happening because people hate people. They want more people gone. They want more abortions. They want, more death in the streets, and that's what we're working on every day. There's blood all over the walls on this planet. Okay, that is literally what God looks down and sees. There's just blood all over the walls. Everybody's arguing. It doesn't matter how many technological advances we've been gifted from the universe. Everybody's still angry, mad, pissed off that other people exist. Our leaders are pissed off we exist, so on and so forth.
Folks, but it's not making anything better.
We can't have an actual conversation to fix anything because everybody's so angry. So, we're going to keep going down this path, and maybe eventually we'll want to stop.
But will it be too late? Folks, will it be too late? Because
It's a choice.
I don't think that people understand how fragile we are. We can be wiped out in an instant. You saw it happen with COVID. All it takes is one virus to come wipe out a large swath of people. Listen, I think about 3 million people died from COVID. Folks, we can be easily wiped out. That should tell you, you should understand our mortality. You should understand how frail we are as human beings.
And you should start trying to be grateful for the life experience, because that's one of the things that has really helped me and my husband. Okay? Yes, we have faced a lot of adversity. Yes, after all this stuff happened to us, we've never, gotten any justice, acknowledgement, compensation, none of that. But we've gotten a lot of life over the last 16 years, and we are very grateful. We can praise God for that. We can praise Jesus for that, because that is what truly matters here, is your experiences, the people you're here with. That is what is so beautiful, that you can even do that at all. We have totally lost sight of the fact that we can live in a consciousness with all this stuff here.
With all this diversity, with all this beauty.
You could have nothing. You know what I'm saying? You could be dead and not have access to this world. Lots of people are dying every day.
Why do we want guests to come back here? If you're expecting Christ, if you're expecting the Mahdi, if you're expecting the Moshiach, why do you want this place to look like garbage when they're supposed to be coming here?
Right. You're expecting this honored guest, but you've got a hellhole. And I want to point out again, me and my husband have been down here for literally 2.5 years. Where is the religious community? Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found.
They should be praying with us.
They are beholden to that collection plate. That's why I stopped going to church, because it's all about money. Stopped being about God a long time ago. I found whenever I go to church, I don't feel good. I don't feel good because, when I was going through all this horrific stuff, nobody was there. My husband was there. My kids were there.
Folks, I went to churches here, locally, okay, in this community, okay, all over Portland. And guess what? I got thrown out. I literally got thrown out, okay, because I was talking about the money. Because we were talking about what happened to our daughter. They didn't want to hear it. They did not want to hear it.
Here in the
all
church.
they wanted was money.
That's all they want. That's all these churches want. That's all these spiritual leaders want. Look at them all. We just had the Dalai Lama sucking face with some kid. I'm just telling you, I'm so tired of it. We really need to sort out these age of consent issues. There's so much pedophilia going on the planet. There's so much corruption. And now we've got all this money and all this media, but you have these evil demonic people that own the media, so we can't have any conversations.
We can't have any real, genuine conversations. Folks, we're not having genuine conversations. All of our conversations are wrapped up in what they want us to be talking about.
Exactly, and they're framed in a very specific way where you can never solve anything. I've noticed this with the whole sports thing and transgender people being in sports, and it's like, can we just have a transgender league? And no, because that might solve the problem, and God forbid everybody stopped arguing. You know what I mean? That's really where they want us at, arguing while the world burns.
It's a tried and true, folks. That's what happened in Rome. They had people focused on the games while the city was burning. That's what's happening here. Are we just gonna let history repeat itself? Or are we gonna finally learn our lesson?
So we're gonna pack it in. It's been a great rally, week 123. Next week's gonna be really fun. We're gonna keep coming at this because we know the world is burning. There may not be anything here soon. And we're down here in Portland, so we never know what we're gonna encounter. It's always a blessing when we can be here, because we do this on our own time and our own dime. We feel compelled to get out here after what happened to our daughter. We are fighting for something better. We're fighting for America to actually exist. And we hope that people will value.
That's right. This is what we are going to leave you with. This is what you need to be thinking. Folks, it's just a suggestion. But here it goes. I am the value.
I am the value.
You are the value.
You are the value.
We are the value.
We are the value.
We're not talking about money. We're not talking about gold or silver. We're not talking about cryptocurrency. We're talking about you. Your life. That is all that actually literally matters. So let's say it. Please say it with us if you can.
I am the value. You are the value. We are the value. I am the value. You are the value. We are the value. I am the value. You are the value. We are the value.
Please take that with you.
Okay, thank you, Portland. We'll see you next week. It's going to be a good time. Bring a friend, because we are going to, we're going to win the white t-shirt exercise on May 5th. So we'll see everyone next week. God bless.
I agree, sir. Thank you very much.